Hello, everyone. The stock market has been very interesting lately, but overall, breadth remains very good in the stock market. More stocks are doing better than stocks that are doing terrible. But I tell you what, thanks to the big large cap stocks like Facebook, which was up the last time I checked 8% after hours, this kind of trading is what's making this market difficult. Amazon is really the only one that's holding in, and even then, it doesn't look as good as it did, just a couple of weeks ago. But stocks like, Google and Apple and Microsoft, Buffalo Wild Wings, CMG, these big stocks that are overly owned have just made for a very rough time while we rotate into new leaders. And that's causing for some crazy trading. But before we go on, just the overall view of the market, very good. The NASDAQ, it's moved back below its 200-day moving average intraday, but a big intraday reversal. Once again, we're closing higher than where we open. We have another intraday tail. As long as this is happening during the pullback, I'm not too upset about what we've seen, even though we've now been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, 6 out of the past 7 days. Overall, the pullback still feels healthy outside of those big, giant, big cap names. So outside of that, what I'm seeing during the pullback so far looks decent, not great. The NASDAQ 100 eclipsed its 50-day moving average, no surprise, but once again, that big intraday reversal. More importantly, the Russell 2000 was higher today, up 0.30%, continuing to show relative strength. The Dow Jones Transportation Average is up 0.12%, continuing to show relative strength. So as long as this is occurring, and the S&P 500, as you can see, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average, represented by DAI and SPY, they are still holding up and moving higher. The one sucky part about this entire rally, and why we're probably not seeing the huge, powerful gains. By now, guys, I've been fully invested for a couple of weeks now. Today is the first day that intraday sell signals have raised a decent amount of cash, and it's coming in stocks that reversed higher on the day. So this market is trading like this because this entire uptrend has come on no volume, and it's just straight V-shapey. I mean, it's healthy, but it's not. It's healthy and not healthy at the same time. Thankfully, the NASDAQ is consolidating. Maybe we'll see the NASDAQ rotate higher and the S&P 500 and Russell 2000 will pull back. But overall, it's been a strange uptrend because there's been no real accumulation on the upside, and that's why you get stuff like this. AMWD raised my sell stop to yesterday's low a day. Look at that huge intraday reversal today, just barely cutting me out of it. This kind of trading would not be happening if this rally attempt came on strong overall volume in the market. We got good breadth, but there's just not a whole lot of buyers. There's just enough buyers to lift it. Similar situation in CVPO today. CVPO is a 50% sell signal on an end-of-day basis, but it eclipsed my final cut loss level all the way back down here. I gave it room, and it failed. It's just unreal, and then it bounces back. But worst of the worst tonight is ANIK. ANIK sold off ahead of earnings and traded insanely ahead of earnings, only to completely reverse it and now be technically up 3% from the day before. After hours, it's around the 48 level. So not only did it run all my stops, but now it's higher on the session thanks to earnings after hours. ANIK is a 50% sell signal on an end-of-day basis. So if I was trading on an end-of-day basis, no matter what, I'm selling half in the morning. But for me, my stops have been hit. My first one was break even around this low here, 45, 46. And then my final sell stop, I actually moved it up to 44.03, but it wouldn't have mattered if it still would have been at 43.81, which is where it originally was. I still would have been knocked out. But that's kind of trading is just insane. Also, BABA is a 50% sell signal on an end-of-day basis, hit 50% of my sell stops intraday, but also IESC hit 50% of my sell stops before it reversed. So this is just the kind of market that just is crazy enough to drive you crazy, but good enough to be like, what the hell is going on? So I still have good stocks like FPRX, but since this move, FPRX, it's only up 36%. I would think it would be up 50% by now. PZE, my hot stock, hasn't turned out like it is, and Graham, the only one that I've been able to get a hold of, shook me out of half of it before rallying 68%. So once again, not the best of market uptrend. Kind of bothers me, but not really. I'm so used to this kind of market action. I just don't understand how some people can focus on one or two stocks and put 20 to 10% of their capital in each name on an end-of-day trend following basis when you aren't able to monitor it all day. Moving out to Maui is now turning out to be a huge mistake. But it wasn't a huge mistake for 8 years. The past 8 years, it's been a huge mistake. But God damn it, I love living out here. Love the lifestyle. So what am I going to do? But what am I going to do? Nothing. But we are going to have 2 new long positions for tomorrow still, despite all this. Getting to my charts the way I like to look at them, HSIC is producing a pocket pivot point signal off of the 50-day moving average, which also is lined up with the 10 above the 20, the 5 above the 10. 20 has touched at least the lows in the basing prices. So it's a good signal. It's got below average volume, but it's an extremely high quality stock. Long base, ascending base. It's a new long position, 2%. Earnings are like early in the week in May, but this is a good enough stock that I want to take it. So 2% in HSIC. Also, NVIDIA, 2% signal. It's not that great. We should have been long NVIDIA back here. This is a major mistake on my end. I accept full responsibility. The below average volume is what prevented me from taking it, but it's high quality as the stock is with its fundamentals, total complete mistake. But we're getting another pocket pivot point signal, and this one is coming actually with price touching the 20-day moving average ever so barely. I mean, just the past couple of days it's able to do it twice. I don't even know, has it really even touched it? It's close enough no matter what, but yeah, it hasn't even really touched it yet. So it's still a little bit of a sketchy long position because it hasn't quite touched the 20. But it's there. The 10's above the 20. The 5 isn't above the 10. But tomorrow, the 5 will be back above the 10. So we'll have the 5 above the 10, 10 above the 20. Everything lined up with price right by the 50-day moving average. However, even though it's had low volume on the pullback, the volume isn't huge. Earnings are in the upcoming week. If this move was coming right off the 50-day moving average, then I would allocate the total amount per my scans. So NVIDIA was a canceling quality stock. It was confirmed in my new 52-week high scan. Oh, wait, nope. My high price stock scan with volume. So it was confirmed in there. And then it must have also been confirmed in the new 52-week high scan. What other scan would have been confirmed of? I marked it down twice, though. So no matter what, it was in 2 scans. Let me see. I think it was that new 52-week high. Sorry, guys. I just want to look to see. If not, I'll figure it out later on. It's not important right now. Let's see. NVIDIA. Yep. Okay, so that's where it was. Okay, cool. All right. I'm not losing my mind. This market's trying to make me lose my mind, even though it's in an uptrend, which just shows how different things are since 2008. This kind of uptrend, we should have had at least a handful of stocks up 20% now. This is why I continue to buy 5% positions at most. The 10, 20% just aren't happening. And that's why NVIDIA, instead of being a 4%er, 2% per canceling, and 1% each for the 2 additional scans, it's going to be half to 2% because it isn't perfect. The 5 isn't above the 10, and the price isn't exactly touching the 20-day moving average. So 2% for NVIDIA. Final sell stop is actually pretty clear cut. It's these lows right here following the 4/19 date. And with HSIC, once again, clear cut loss levels right below here. And you can use, actually, I'm going to probably tier it. My last sell stop will be 165.66, and my first sell stop will be 169.12 level right there. I want to give it a little bit of wiggle room, but not too much ahead of earnings. So NVIDIA 2%, HSIC 2%. Also AXGN I like. If I take it long, it would be 1%. It's a decent technical pattern, isn't great like the surge in volume and BOP with the price move, pocket pivot point signal, like the long-term uptrend, but it isn't a great chart. If I do go long, it'll be 1% or less. But the main 2 ones, NVIDIA and HSIC. HSIC is the highest quality. BABA, CBPO, and ANIC are 50% sells. There are no full sells. ANIC is the disappointing shakeout of the day. There seems to always be one nowadays.